This is a normal check-in, and I'm turning in the key rune, the second key rune I have.
Okay. Um, so you do basically report to one of the underlings. Then it doesn't need to be um, directly to the person in charge. You turn in the key room, and you are gratefully thanked for that. Um, you said you had used your charm.
Yes.
Okay. For returning the key rune to them, they actually will refresh your charm.
Okay.
And they will also give you 100 gold.
Cool.
And what? How much are you telling them about what's been going on?
I leave out the part about the rot grass being killed.
Okay.
But I do tell them that it appears that when we were called to work with the Guild Pact, that we were not totally upfront, and that apparently we were being asked to do clandestine missions. So it should be noted in the future that I may need help from some of the street swarm and whatnot in the future for aid, for information.
Okay. So noted. The person you're reporting to does basically let you know that although they can't authorize that in advance, they will make it known to those in power that a request may be coming and that it should be considered.
Well, the street swarm's technically a separate entity, so they would just have to talk to the person in charge of the street swarm.
That's
It's one
basically
of
what they're
yeah,
that's
it's
what they're
one of
saying
the
they'll do
power
is
groups.
they'll pass along a message that help may be needed and kind of give their advice that they would appreciate if it was given if asked.
I thank them, and I start to show Velen like telltale signs of like normal markers that you would see to help guide you through the Undercity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, don't go this way. There's a chasm there. Hey, don't
So
go
understanding
here.
kind of how the
Yeah,
hidden signposts work.
yeah.
Okay,
Like some
that
of the big
works.
ones, like don't go here. It's a dead bridge Goliath feeding area.
Yeah, good things to know. Um,
These are the telltale signs that moss dogs are around.
Malgar, what are you doing with your day?
I'm just restocking my arrows, resting up, getting my spells back, and I'm following closely the identification efforts on that box, the black one.
Okay, so
So
you're gonna go check in on that.
yep, to see what they've learned at the CIMIC.
You actually find that the box. You have to jump through quite a few hoops actually to find where it's been taken. It seems to have been passed through a number of hands in its quest for being studied, and you eventually find that it is in one of the uh, deep merfolk labs.
Okay.
Um, in fact, you actually have a little bit of trouble getting there because the lab is underwater.
Yeah, well, that's not too much of a hassle. I have a cloak.
Oh, you do. That's right. um, Basically, what they have found so far, is that the construction of this item does not seem to match with the styles or trademarks of any of the guilds.
Okay.
But they've been yet to pin down what or who or what could have made it.
Yeah. Have they found out how to activate it?
Um, let me just check. They did find out how to activate it. It actually caused a bit of a problem because when they activated it, it started draining the lab of water. And
It's like
two
opening
of
an
their
airlock in space.
two of their researchers were actually sucked through before they were able to close it, and since that point they have not they have deemed not to reopen it again, at least until they understand more about it.
Yep. Well, I did tell them before I handed it off that it contained some sort of portal, so...
Yeah, but sometimes when you're experimenting and you're trying to find out how something works, you accidentally find the on switch.
Yep. Well, anyway, so they know how to turn it on then. That could
Yes.
help us. Yep.
Well, that's actually quite helpful.
Yep.
Yeah, and they dumped a laboratory of water through it. So depending on what is on the other side, they may not be very happy.
Yep.
And
Well,
two merfolk.
oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see how that goes. If they will allow me to take it back, then I handed it off for safekeeping, basically. So.
They actually seem reluctant to give it back until the studies are complete.
Yeah.
They do advise you that it is that it does to be quite a powerful item and quite unstable, and as such, they would not recommend attempting to use it until more is understood about where it is going.
How long do they think they will take before they learn that? Are we talking months or a few days, maybe?
All going well, days or weeks, but not months.
All right. Well, I tell them it is quite important that we. Well, for me
I
at
mean,
least.
they've got an entire lab devoted to it at this point. So
Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Well, this is related. I just tell them it's related to a Guild Pact investigation that is ongoing, so we might need access to it when necessary.
Oh yes, of course, yes.
For now,
But...
just let us play with it, please. That's what I hear.
Yeah, that's basically what I let them do as well. So, yep. Well, after I've learned that, I'm going to meet up with the rest of the group at the time where we decided.
Okay.
3 hours past noon. And I'll tell you guys what they've learned, how to activate it, and how to turn it off. But, yeah. They haven't learned yet where it leads. And it might take some time.
You could just do the is it thing and drop a bomb through it and see where the bomb explodes.
No. I would just shoot through it.
Why make it that difficult? Take an item that you're intimately aware of how it looks and works, then throw it through, then do locate object.
That seems like the difficult thing. Like what I said is very instantaneous, and you know right away what's on the other side.
That's what my thing does too.
Well,
No?
to be fair, they would actually bring up the fact that they do know the two researchers that went through fairly well, and they have been unable to locate them on the plane. Or they would say on the world.
Okay.
Bean Bob's got some splaining to do.
So, now what?
Oh, I'm just following the Dovin around.
Well, we have until the next day, so
It won't work, Casey. You can call me as many names as you want to. It won't work.
I was just basing that on what you just said.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So what we're going to do then is we are going to go ahead and wrap up now, with the with your group meeting back up together the next day, and we will pick up next week with you planning your next steps.
So Casey, we blew up half a city, destroyed everything, and then
You
we didn't blow up half a
No,
city.
no,
You just
Made
blew up half the power station.
made a mockery of everything and caused a lot of havoc. Can we level, please?
Nope.
Fuck. Okay. What's worth a try?
Can we
I
get
knew-
sort of an indication as to how far we are?
I
Too
mean,
low.
we have the
Your
level
XP,
indicator.
your XP is on the screen.
Yeah.
XP is always on the screen.
Yeah, we need
Yeah.
1,400 to level up.
Oh, right.
I just gave you 750 for this week's session.
All right.
It's always available there. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
I
trying
just
my
forgot
hand.
about it.
I don't always mention it, but I do update that after each session.
So if if I hadn't been a mama's boy, then maybe. Is that what we're saying?
Oh,
I mean,
Cedric
you know,
will
you
grind
could always-
down your.
If you wanted, you could always wish to level up.
Yeah, exactly. Funny.
That
Uh,
actually is an option.
I know, but it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna use that wish. That's just
I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure. The second it affects you instead of this, you're gonna go for that wish. Like, oh no, it affects me. Now it's fair game.
You
Now
could wish
it's
to become the
plan
mo-
C.
You could wish to become the most powerful sorcerer who's ever lived.
I'm no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
turn
make
into Yawgmoth.
that. Yeah, exactly. I'm
Does
never
that mean
gonna
you
make
become level 21?
You're never gonna make that wish. And in Casey do epic levels, by the way, so don't ever wish for things like that. Because Casey will throw it
I
back in.
wish for Nico Bolas to become a god.
I wish.
Are
for
there
Nico
actually
Pact
any
to make a comeback.
official rules for epic levels yet? Have they released
No.
any?
Not official.
Now, Casey,
Well, no, the DMG does mention how to do epic levels.
Yep.
What it recommends is that you continue leveling up either in different classes, gaining new abilities, and with your base attack and bonuses going up at a set, your proficiency modifier going up at a set level, and then ever so many levels gaining an epic boon, which is basically an epic feat, as it were.
Yep.
That's actually what the DMG recommends. But I've also, in some previous games, experimented with things like divine rankings, going back to the third edition stuff. Divine rankings can cause some fun stuff.
divine rankings is probably the best way to do it, in my opinion.
Uh,
Because anybody that reaches those levels are starting to move into the divine.
I mean, just
form
because
of-
you're like a epic level wizard doesn't mean you're divine. So
No, but
I
you're
would
moving-
still say
you're
I would still
become-
say that's separate. You can be a
oh
25
no,
level wizard.
they are
but not
certainly
a
they are
divine
certainly
being.
separate, but often they do tie in.
Oh yeah. I mean, obviously, when you're
Because you are
at
fighting gods at that point.
yeah, I mean, when you're at that level, you might as well like, okay, I should become a god, but that doesn't mean that you.
Or there's
can.
also just the default being well enough known that you become basically a hero deity.
Yeah.
That you begin to gather worship because people know you and fear you or love you or whatever else.
At this point, you've really done enough, didn't you? I mean, you don't get to level 20 without doing something stupid.
And then I can send you to the City of Union.
But if you want to become the most powerful
Even-
character
even
using a wish, you
are epic level.
becoming a most powerful character, I think you could use a wish to become a 3.5 character in 5th edition.
Well, the thing is, the second you move into the area where you have wish, you can just wish yourself a bunch of ability scores and XP and a bit of that. So you're moving into terrain that where wish you don't really care about a wish anymore. You care more about spells like miracles.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying if you had been allowed to make a 3.5 character in the 5th edition rules, just your character is 3.5, you have like plus 50 knowledge arcane and
That could be interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
So we will go ahead
Nighttime
and
wish.
wrap up there for the night.
Yeah.
Good game, everybody. Kind of.
Mhm.
So we did
Yeah.
a lot of stupid things.
Yeah.
And you've been chastised for doing stupid things, and
I did the most stupid thing though. Just
It's not a competition, guys.
yeah, well, I feel like it's an ongoing competition, no matter what you say.
Sometimes Malgar killed
The
68
happy
innocent people, but Cedric still got more shit for just suggesting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
maybe
actually
we
true.
don't kill a lot of innocent. Like, shut up, stupid! Of course we
Well,
will.
Statistically, though, some of those people were not innocent, so it's.
It's 1 in 10,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always 1 in 10.
Something like that.
I wish to 1 on 10 be. Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Right. Good night, guys.
Have a brilliant
Yeah.
week, guys.
Yeah.
right.
I'll see you
See
next
you
week.
next Monday.
See you Monday.
Bye.